Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Catalyst for Change, the 2023 Youth Advocates of the Year Awards. Please welcome our young ambassadors, Florencia Leyva and Agamrup Kaur.
Good evening, everyone. Buenas noches. Welcome to the 2023 Youth Advocates of the Year Awards. My name is Florencia Leyva. I'm a human rights lawyer and a health advocate from Argentina, and I'm also proud to be a global young ambassador for the campaign for tobacco-free kids.
And I'm Agamrup Kaur from California. I'm the 2022 Barry Fisk National Youth Advocate of the Year. Thank you. Flor and I are so excited to be here today to celebrate the power of youth advocacy and to honor the amazing catalysts for change around the world.
Young people everywhere are standing up to the tobacco industry and fighting for a tobacco-free future. And we are making so much progress.
In California, we took on big tobacco and we won. I am thrilled that California voters overwhelmingly upheld our law to stop the sale of flavored tobacco products. What a huge victory.
Young people are united like never before. Back in October, we held our very first Global Young Ambassador Summit in Istanbul, Turkey. And I was honored to join 26 young advocates from 17 countries. And I am so grateful to the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids for bringing us together.
Together, we will defeat big tobacco and we will create the first tobacco-free generation.
Yeah!
And so to kick off the evening, let's take a look at the amazing work of young leaders in the US and around the world.
We're bigger than big tobacco. We're taking a stand.
When it comes to big tobacco, well, today young people got to make their voices heard.
100 students from across the state met with state legislators.
Dozens of students and supporters of the bill to ban flavored tobacco products, including menthol cigarettes and vapes, marched to the Capitol.
Another rally at the state capitol attracted hundreds of teenagers from around the state. This one to raise awareness about what they call tobacco-related disparities in their communities.
Detroit area students took their message directly to Scott Benson.
Coming together to create a global movement for better health.
27 youth from 17 countries come together to take on the tobacco industry.
I want a tobacco-free world.
I'm an advocate because I want to have an impact around the world that surrounds me.
Advocating in the halls of power, addressing other critical public health challenges. Energizing communities, inspiring action, shaping the future, creating new catalysts for change.
Please welcome to the stage Chairman of the Board and co-founder of the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, Bill Novelli.
Hello, everyone. Our youth advocates just never cease to amaze me. How about another round of applause for them? We announced some important news this week, and as chairman of the board of the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, I want to discuss it with you this evening. But first, I want to acknowledge our board members here tonight. Would you please stand? We have an absolutely terrific and dedicated board. The campaign is 27 years old, and it's bigger and better and badder than ever. When we began, tobacco use among kids was at an all-time high. Adult smoking was everywhere, and the FDA was struggling to get jurisdiction over tobacco. The tobacco industry was a Goliath, powerful and wealthy, embraced by corporate America, with heavy influence in Congress and the states, and with many law firms, PR, and ad agencies on their payroll, not to mention peddling an addictive product. The campaign and its partners, many of you here tonight, fought back. It was David versus Big Tobacco's Goliath. There were triumphs, setbacks, and hard-fought progress. Today, smoking rates among American kids has declined by 90%. And those rates are down by more than half among U.S. adults. The campaign went global thanks to our dedicated donors and partners working on tobacco control policies around the world. And through our Global Health Advocacy Incubator, we're applying our high-impact advocacy model to other critical health issues in many countries. Along came vaping and tobacco industry promises to unsmoke the world, and their introduction of new and extremely addictive products to keep profits flowing. The lesson here is that you can never let down your guard. Now, there have been many heroes in this David versus Goliath story. Many of these heroes are here tonight in this room. But there's been one constant champion, one person who traveled the whole journey, who showed courage, intellect, and perseverance, and yes, was just crazy enough to fight Goliath every day, every week, and every month for 27 years. And of course, that's Matt Myers. Matt has been our champion, our leader, our David in this fight against mighty Goliath. He's also been my friend and friend to many of you. And now, Matt is stepping down as president of the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. He says it's time for a new chapter, for new leadership, and time for Matt and Louise to go on some family adventures. Fortunately for us, for public health, and for all we stand for, Matt's successor is right here, Yolanda Richardson. Yolanda has been Matt's partner. Her performance as Executive Vice President of our global programs has been outstanding. Her long tenure with the campaign has given her a solid grasp of our entire organization. And Yolanda has the respect of all of us, board, staff, donors, and partners across the world. I'm pleased to announce that our board voted unanimously to appoint Yolanda Richardson as President and CEO of the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids and our Campaign Action Fund as of July 1. Yes, more applause is welcome. Our board is enormously proud of the campaign and its progress in saving lives here and across the world. And we are extremely pleased to welcome Yolanda to this leadership role, an outstanding person who represents principle, continuity, experience, and judgment. And to demonstrate Yolanda's good judgment, She is engaging Matt as her strategic advisor. Now, I picked up a new business card from Matt. It says, retired, no deadlines, ask someone else, no business, not my problem, no phone, and no email. But I am not going to give it to him because everyone knows that Matt Myers is not a rocking chair on the back porch kind of a guy. Here's Matt Myers.
Thank you, Bill, for your kind remarks, and thank you, everybody, for the support you've given us for 27 years. Bill, you have been a terrific partner since we created the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids 27 years ago. Stepping down is one of the hardest decisions I've ever made, but it's made far easier because I have no doubt that Yolanda Richardson is the right person to serve as the next president and CEO of the campaign. Yolanda has been my trusted partner for the past 14 years, and she has built our global program into the force for change that it is today, not only on tobacco, but also on other critical public health challenges through the work of our Global Health Advocacy Incubator. Under Yolanda's leadership, our organization and our mission will be in exceptionally strong hands. Yolanda will not just build on the foundation that we have laid, she will strengthen it and take it to new heights. Yolanda, congratulations. I also want to express, and I can't express it strongly enough, my gratitude to our board of directors and our amazing team at the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids and the Global Health Advocacy Incubator. I can't think of a more capable, more resourceful, more dedicated group of people. They are what makes the campaign what it is. Thanks to each and every one of you. It has been an amazing 27 years. Together, we have begun to bend the arc of history. 27 years ago, we were created to take on big tobacco through smart, tenacious advocacy and guided by our commitment to health and social justice. We have demonstrated that public health advocates can go toe-to-toe with the tobacco industry and now with other industries whose products and practices cause so much unnecessary preventable disease. Today we live in a different world because of our collective work and the efforts of so many people in this room and around the globe. When the campaign was created, the youth smoking rate in the United States was over 36% and climbing. The tobacco companies claimed that it was inevitable. Kids will smoke. Well, today, the smoking rate is under 4% and falling. And it is within our reach, within the next 2 to 4 years, to drive adult smoking into single digits, something that no one ever thought would happen. Back then, the Marlboro Cowboy, Joe Camel, and the Virginia Slims Woman lured kids from billboards, magazine pages, and storefronts across the country. Today, they are all gone, and we look forward to the day when menthol cigarettes join them on the ash heap of history. Back then, when you walked into a restaurant, they asked you smoking or no smoking. Today, we take it for granted that our offices, restaurants, bars, workplaces, planes, and so many other places are completely smoke-free. Indeed, one of our proudest accomplishments is that there is an entire continent, South America, where it is illegal to smoke indoors in any single country. Globally, when we were created, the World Health Organization projected that 1 billion, let me repeat that, 1 billion people would die this century from tobacco use, and cigarette sales seemed destined to rise across the globe forever. Well, we collectively said, not on our watch. And as a result, cigarette sales have fallen almost every year since 2012. Our work, along with all of our partners in the Bloomberg Initiative to Reduce Tobacco Use and organizations around the globe, has already resulted in over 35 million lives saved. Just in the countries in which we have collectively worked, and more than 5.3 billion people in 146 different countries now live with new, strong tobacco control laws. We have just gotten started. Our progress would not be possible without the support of visionary funders like the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, which was instrumental in our creation and had the courage to take a wing on a brand new organization. And Bloomberg Philanthropies and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which have funded tobacco control across the globe for more than 15 years and have just committed to an additional 4 more years. It is because of their courage, tenacity, and long-term commitment that we are winning and will win the tobacco wars. I'm most proud about how the campaign has partnered with courageous organizations and individuals in the U.S. and around the globe. Tonight, as we have in the past, we will honor some of the most extraordinary of those partners, including Eric Antonio Ochoa of Mexico, and the incredibly brave advocates and policymakers of Ukraine who have continued to make progress despite unimaginably difficult circumstances. We are thrilled that tonight 2 members of the Ukrainian parliament who have come a very long way to join us are with us. Please join me in giving a very warm welcome to members Lada Bulach and Mikhailo Rudatsky. Leaders like them are why we are going to win this war. We're grateful to all the political leaders in the United States and across the globe who over the long term have championed our cause. Tonight we will also honor Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi, who has been a steadfast champion of children's rights for decades. Most of all, tonight is about celebrating the young people who inspire our work every single day and are doing so much themselves to create the first tobacco-free generation. Shortly after the campaign was created, Bill and I were at the White House, and we attended an event where I described our youth advocates as the real stars of our work. That has never been more true than it is today. I'm incredibly proud of the growth of our youth advocacy program in the U.S. and now across the globe. This past year, as you've heard, our youth advocacy program went global with the Young Ambassadors Summit in Istanbul that brought together 27 unbelievable young leaders from 17 different countries who have gone back to each of their countries to spark the youth movement. These young leaders are what fills me with hope and confidence that the future is in good hands. And tonight, I can't finish. Without acknowledging the one person who has probably made the most sacrifices and been most supportive, and that's my wife, Louise. Now, to present the first Youth Advocates of the Year awards, please welcome our Director of Youth Advocacy, Gustavo Torres.
Good evening. It's an incredible honor to follow Matt on stage this evening. Matt, I can't say thank you enough for your leadership and the power of your example. In 1996, at the age of 13, I marched around the California State Capitol in Sacramento alongside hundreds of youth advocates from across the state with the world's largest petition. Well, the world's largest to me. We marched demanding that then Governor Pete Wilson return funds he took from tobacco prevention programs. A couple days later, the funds were returned, and I learned the power of my voice and our collective action. That day, I felt the energy and power of civic activism and the importance of holding our elected officials accountable. And today, I'm still marching. Earlier today, I marched alongside nearly 100 young people. Some of whom are in this room today, calling out Altria and Philip Morris for their nefarious ways. I want to acknowledge those young people and the adult allies in the room who raised their voice today. Please give them a round of applause. While we've made tremendous progress, there's still a lot of work to be done. But I'm confident we will create a tobacco-free future because of our amazing youth advocates that are going to continue this fight. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our individual and group Youth Advocates of the Year, true catalysts for change.
I'm Lauren Doe, and I'm from Las Cruces, New Mexico, and I'm a 2023 Youth Advocate of the Year. It was sort of a sequence of events that sort of led me into tobacco advocacy. On my first day of high school, my bus got delayed by 30 minutes because there was a student who was smoking in the bus. That same exact day, coincidence or not, a group called Evolvement had come to present at my school. What I'm most proud of is my school district right now is 100% comprehensive, meaning that its policy, its tobacco nicotine policies, protect students on campus at just any time at school, whether it's at school or at school-sponsored events. It creates an environment where students feel safe.
Hi, my name is J.R. Ash. I'm from Huntington, West Virginia, and I am a 2023 Youth Advocate of the Year. I first got inspired and learned about the fight against big tobacco when I was growing up and I saw my father battling the effects of throat cancer. So when I joined middle school, I started joining some clubs and talked about smoking and vaping. So I've been able to build relationships with members of both parties and been able to see bills being taken down and being passed that are effective and work in West Virginia. I find that just being myself is enough. And I find that when I encourage my peers to just be themselves, our work progresses faster.
My name's Love Brazil. I'm from Adair, Oklahoma, and I'm the 2023 Youth Advocate of the Year. My whole family has kind of been addicted to tobacco products since I was young. So when my Youth Action for Health leadership program came to my school, it definitely sparked a lot of questions for me, like how can I contribute to this? How can I help fight this in my own community? So a big thing that I was advocating for was PUP laws, the purchase, use, and possession laws. The big point was that these laws were placing pressure back on the teens who were being exposed to these products instead of big tobacco, which was marketing towards them with their obviously predatory marketing habits. So it's a really awesome thing that we got those removed. I believe my biggest accomplishment has been the impact that I've made on my friends and family around me. I've had close friends tell me that through my advocacy work, I've inspired them to be better people and even follow in my footsteps and make changes in their own communities.
Hi, I'm Mia Chow. I'm from Benicia, California, and I'm a 2023 Youth Advocate of the Year. My older sister had nicotine addiction in high school, and I ended up stumbling upon a club called Friday Night Live, and they showed me that I could get involved in tobacco prevention in the larger community to ensure that other future generations didn't have to experience the same experiences that my family went through as a result of nicotine addiction. The accomplishment that I'm most proud of is when in my freshman year, I helped to pass 2 local ordinances that ended the sale of flavored tobacco products in our city and also prohibited smoking in multi-unit housing, because I got to see the impact it directly made on the people around me, the families around me, and of course the youth around me. Advocacy is not an individual's work, it's really teamwork when a community comes together to fight for a cause.
I'm Brenna Bassett,
Suhita Chintala Charubu,
Nicole Liu,
Hannah Martin.
We are Voice Indiana from Indianapolis, and we are the Group Youth Advocates of the Year.
I've always had people in my family who have smoked. One of my grandpas passed away from lung-related illnesses because of smoking. Another grandpa was hospitalized, and then whenever he got out of the hospital, the first thing he asked for was a cigarette. I don't want anyone else to have to go through what my family has gone through.
Indiana Voice met with legislators and talked about the various issues with tobacco, what the negative health effects were for teens, and why increasing the tobacco tax would make it harder for those teens to get access.
We had a presentation at the middle school in our county, and it was just amazing to talk to those over 700 middle school students. It has an effect way bigger than all of us.
We joined Voice to make sure that teens heard our voices, that parents heard our voices, that administrators heard our voices. And receiving this award, I just feel like we're finally being recognized for our voices.
Please join me in congratulating our 2023 Youth Advocates of the Year.
Now, it is my honor to introduce the newest member of our leadership team at the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, our Executive Vice President for U.S. Programs, John Bowman. John joined us in January. He brings more than 20 years of policy advocacy and coalition building experience, as well as experience in government that ranges from the Atlanta City Council to the Florida Governor's Office to the halls of Congress. Please give a warm welcome to John Bowman.
Thank you, Matt. Good evening, everyone. This is my first Youth Advocate of the Year awards, and I am so impressed. I'm in awe of everything that's been accomplished by Matt Myers, our team, and everyone in this movement. You have truly changed the world, and I couldn't be more excited to work with Yolanda and our team to build on this progress. I'm here tonight to report on our work in the United States, and there's a lot of good news. There's no better place to start than California, where we had a resounding victory over big tobacco. As Agam reported, 63% of California voters upheld the state's law ending the sale of flavored tobacco, including menthol cigarettes, flavored e-cigarettes, and flavored cigars. Let's hear it for California. Let's go next to the U.S. Supreme Court. Now, there aren't many progressive causes that win at the Supreme Court these days, but we've won not one, not two, but 3 significant victories in the last 6 months. In December, the court rejected the tobacco industry's efforts to block California's law from taking effect. In February, the court rejected the industry's challenge to the Los Angeles County's flavored tobacco ban. And just this week, the court refused to hear an e-cigarettes company challenge to FDA's order against their flavored products. We are so proud of our legal team's work on these cases. Next stop, New York, where Governor Hochul and the state legislature just passed a $1 increase in the cigarette tax. Way to go, New York! And here's another legal victory. Starting in July, the tobacco companies must post signs about the dangers of smoking in 200,000 retail stores across the U.S. That's right, 200,000. There's an example of the signs up on the screen. This is the final step to implement the corrective statements ordered by federal judge Gladys Kessler way back in 2006, when she found the tobacco companies were racketeers who lied to the American people. What a legacy for Judge Kessler, who sadly passed away in March. Our organization has been a party to this cause, along with our other public health partners, since 2005. These are all great victories, but we're hoping the most important victory this year is yet to come. Along with our many partners, we are urging the FDA to finish the job and issue final rules banning menthol cigarettes and flavored cigars. We have some guests from the FDA here tonight. No pressure, folks, but we are counting on you. Our victories aren't all just on tobacco. I also want to highlight the work of our overdose prevention initiative, which is one of the newest programs of our Global Health Advocacy Incubator and the first incubator program in the U.S. Our team successfully advocated for congressional passage of the Mainstreaming Addiction Treatment Act, which expands the access to key medication for preventing opioid overdose deaths. We are ecstatic that this life-saving law passed, and our team joined at the White House in the celebration earlier this year. Let's hear it for our overdose prevention team. Now, it is my high honor to present our Champion Award to someone who truly embraces the word champion, not just on tobacco, but on so many worthy causes. Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi has been a stalwart advocate for America's children from the moment she arrived in Congress. When Nancy Pelosi has been Speaker, good things have happened in the fight against tobacco. The 2009 Tobacco Control Act that gave the FDA the authority to regulate tobacco, the largest ever federal cigarette tax increase, the House vote in 2020 to prohibit the use of flavored tobacco, and the 2022 law that made clear the FDA's authority over synthetic nicotine products. All these things happen on Speaker Pelosi's watch. Here's a video honoring Speaker Pelosi.
When people ask me what are the 3 most important issues facing the Congress now for 30 years, I've always said the same thing. Our children, our children, our children. really a great day. It's momentous, it's historic. We can't say that all the time about the legislation that we pass here. Despite the fact that tobacco is one of the deadliest products in America, the FDA has had no authority to regulate it. This is just not right, and today we can correct that wrong. Today, in passing this legislation, enabling the FDA to regulate tobacco, we are taking a giant step forward in making America healthier. Today, corporations are waging a brazen special interest campaign to addict our children to e-cigarettes. Most importantly, this bill blocks the manufacture and sale of all flavored tobacco products, including flavored e-cigarettes. This ban also covers menthol cigarettes. This bill, therefore, helps ensure justice and reduce health disparities. And aren't we blessed to have the future standing right here with us this morning, the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. They're our VIPs. Welcome.
Unfortunately, Speaker Emerita Pelosi cannot be with us tonight, but she has shared her acceptance remark. Let's take a look.
Hello. It is my special privilege to join you tonight to thank you, our Catalyst for Change, for your determined advocacy for the children. Thank you, President Matt Myers, for your leadership of the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, a vital partner in building a healthier America. It is with immense gratitude that today I humbly accept your Champion Award. Protecting the health and well-being of our children has been my top priority in the Congress, and I have been proud to work for decades alongside the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids in that fight. One of my first official actions when I became Speaker in 2007 was to ban smoking in the Capitol complex, protecting the lungs of our congressional community, especially pregnant workers. Then, with our Family Smoking Prevention and the Tobacco Control Act, we took on big tobacco and won, dispelling its propaganda and making our communities safer. All these achievements and more were made possible with the leadership of the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, including this year's Youth Advocates of the Year. Your inspiring efforts to take on the tobacco industry are vital to securing a healthy future for your generation and generations to come. As lawmakers, our inside maneuvering can only take us so far. It's your outside mobilization that makes all the difference. It is also my special privilege to receive this award alongside the courageous advocates and policymakers of Ukraine. I salute these dedicated public servants for their work to implement sweeping health protections against tobacco that will save lives, even amidst their ferocious fight against Russia's cruel crusade. Thank you again for this distinguished award and best wishes for a wonderful celebration. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker Emerita Pelosi, for your warm remarks and mostly for your strong, sustained leadership. Next up is one of my favorite parts of our evening. The Judy Wilkenfeld Award for International Tobacco Control Excellence. This award is presented to an advocate who has made extraordinary contributions to reducing tobacco use in low and middle-income countries through policy advocacy, and who exemplifies Judy's unique respect for and ability to bring together people of different cultures, backgrounds, and beliefs for the common good. It is named for Judy Wilkenfeld, who founded our international program and is so very special to me and every member of the campaign. Sadly, we lost Judy to cancer 16 years ago. Judy was a mentor, a friend, a role model, and a moral compass to advocates across the globe. Judy and I first took on the tobacco industry together at the Federal Trade Commission in 1980 under the leadership of Chairman Mike Perchuk, another hero of our movement who we sadly lost in November. Judy's work at the FTC and at the FDA in the 1990s laid the groundwork for much of what we have accomplished over the past several decades. Judy then played a leading role in the negotiation of the Framework Convention on Tobacco Control and the creation of the first global alliance of civil society organizations that has been the driving force for change around the world. We are once again honored to have Judy's family here tonight. Would you please stand and be recognized? Since its establishment, the Judy Wilkenfeld Award has helped propel a rising group of young leaders to serve as role models, not just for making change, but for doing so by bringing people together. To present this year's Judy Wilkenfeld Award, please welcome Patricia Sosa, who directs our programs in Latin America and the Caribbean.
Oh, I'm going to miss him so much. We've been together for 26 years. I actually wanted to read this without my glasses, but it's impossible. I've been waiting 13 years to do this. I've been working with Eric for 13 years for the passage of these policies in Mexico. This is truly a historical moment for all of us. So thank you, Matt, for the introduction and the recognition of Judy's work, which was extraordinary. I had the privilege of meeting Judy and feel very strongly that I actually know both Judy and Eric, and I think it's a great blend of the award today. He really embodies Judy's spirits and values. And he is definitely being a key player in Mexico and in really making one of the most important countries, the second largest country in the region, a leader in tobacco control. And the success of Mexico would not have been possible without the leadership of tonight's recipient of the Judy Wilkenfeld Award, Eric Antonio Ochoa. Eric, congratulations. Eric has been a bright light in tobacco control for more than a decade. He led the successful campaign to increase the tobacco taxes in Mexico in 2010. It's a huge victory. More recently, he played a critical role in Mexico's new law that bans tobacco advertising, including at the point of sale, and makes all public places smoke-free, including restrictions on e-cigarettes and heated tobacco products. Eric's leadership has also been crucial in countering aggressive pushbacks from tobacco companies. His organization, Salud Justa, leads Salud Hable, a coalition of over 100 organizations in Mexico united to stand up to big tobacco. Eric's talent are building consensus among Mexican and international organizations, academia, and government is a big reason for Mexico's success. Eric has been recognized by his peers as a leader, role model, and mentor. This video will tell you more.
Yo creo que yo he formado parte de 3 procesos exitosos de cambio en política pública. Hicimos un esfuerzo en el año 2007, en el año 2008, para que se aprobara la primera regulación de ambientes 100% libres de humo en el país, que fue en Ciudad de México en el año 2008, y después que fue el aumento de los impuestos en el año 2010, se aprobó en el proceso legislativo del 2010 y entró en vigor a partir del 2011. Y la más reciente pues ha sido la reforma a la Ley General para el Control del Tabaco. A partir del 2021, en diciembre, que logramos esta aprobación, que significa el avance de 2 políticas fundamentales. Una es los ambientes 100% libres de humo y emisiones en todo el país, y la segunda es la prohibición total de publicidad, promoción y patrocinio de productos de tabaco, incluyendo la exhibición de los productos en puntos de venta.
Sabemos muy claramente y hay evidencias suficientes de cómo la industria del tabaco ha hecho todo un bypass de las distintas políticas para el control de la propaganda. Entonces, la prohibición total, sin ninguna excepción, es un elemento fundamental de la implementación del Convenio Marco de Control del Tabaco.
Felicito a Eric Antonio Ochoa por haber obtenido el premio Judith Winkelfeld por una labor de 13 años en favor de la salud pública.
Gracias por luchar por el cambio y por el control de tabaco en México.
A nombre de la coalición de Códice, te felicito y te mandamos abrazos.
Felicidades, compañero Eric. Felicidades, querido amigo. Y que sea uno más de los logros obtenidos.
Gracias por hacer que el cambio suceda, Eric. Eric, tu compromiso y dedicación han sido clave para el control del tabaco en México. En nombre de todo el equipo de Salud Justa, muchas felicidades.
Eric, you made me excited about the future of tobacco control in Mexico and the entire region. Please come up to the stage so we can present you with the 2023 Judy Wilkenfeld Award for International Tobacco Control Excellence. ¿Dónde está el premio? ¿Dónde está el premio? Aquí está el tuyo, ¿no? ¡Viva México!
Gracias. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. ¿Por qué hacemos lo que hacemos? Con el compromiso en la piel y una fuerza de voluntad resiliente a los fracasos. ¿Qué nos hace sobreponernos a una industria que todo lo corrompe? No somos superhéroes ni ángeles. Somos personas de carne y grueso. Nuestra armadura es la ciencia. Nos motiva la consecución de la justicia y el anhelo de colaborar a la construcción de un mundo más sano. Cuando recuerdo mi primer contacto con el tabaquismo, pienso en mi papá. Nació en 1945 y comenzó a fumar a los 13 años. Él y los muchachos de su generación, de comunidades rurales, trabajadores y humildes, no supieron de los daños a la salud que ocasiona el tabaco, sino décadas después. Algunos amigos de mi papá enfermaron y murieron sin saber cuánto contribuyó para ello la adicción a la nicotina. Él mismo tuvo que enfrentar accidentes vasculares, diabetes y un sinfín de enfermedades. Falleció en septiembre del 2021 por complicaciones renales. Eso es lo que pasa con una industria que manipula y engaña. Señoras y señores, me alegra saber que una comunidad de expertos, de organizaciones civiles, decisores públicos y líderes supo sobreponerse a la poderosa interferencia de la industria tabacalera para lograr que hoy México sea 100% libre de humo y tenga una prohibición total de la publicidad del tabaco. Mi equipo en Salud Justa, Juan, Yaya, Dari, Max, Avi, Sora, Belén, Claudia, Adriana Rocha, a quien consideramos parte de nuestro equipo, y un servidor, fuimos un engrane de esa valiosa suma de voluntades que nos llevaron a mejorar significativamente el control del tabaco en mi país, donde también participaron Eduardo del Castillo y Miguel Ángel Toscano con sus equipos. Mi agradecimiento a Campaign for Tobacco Free Kids, especialmente a Patricia Sosa, a Pato Gutkowski, ¿dónde está? Yanela Severini, Valentina Ochoa y Alejandra Bolaños, que pelearon con nosotros por muchos años, pero también a Matt Myers, a Yolanda Richardson, a Jake Pally y a Chuya Lane, con quien pudimos impulsar el aumento de impuestos en 2021. A la OPS, el Instituto Nacional de Salud Pública, la Unión, el Comité Interinstitucional de Lucha contra el Tabaco, a ellos también les dedico este premio. En la cercanía de mi corazón, nuevamente están mi papá, mi mamá, mi esposa, mis hijos, mi hermano, mis abuelos, mis amigos, que son muchos, porque mi corazón es un hostal. Estoy conmovido. Muchas gracias por ser parte de esta alegría que me acompañará siempre, y gracias a la familia Wilkenfeld y a la memoria de Judy Wilkenfeld.
Felicitaciones, Eric. I'm so proud of the progress in Mexico and across Latin America. In fact, all of South America now is smoke-free in all public areas. Including my country, Argentina, as well. Now, I want to introduce an amazing leader who I met at the Young Ambassador Summit back in Istanbul, and I quickly came to admire her. It is my pleasure to introduce Yolanda Richardson, the Executive Vice President of the Global Programs and next President and CEO of the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. Please welcome Yolanda.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Flor, for that gracious introduction. I was so inspired by you and all the young leaders from around the world when I met you at the summit in Istanbul last September. This night is always special for all of us at the campaign. The young people that we celebrate tonight remind us of all that is possible and all that is good and right in the world. As the incoming president of the and CEO of the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, I look forward to future celebrations as we build our organization and have future celebrations to demonstrate the strong record of success and impact that we've seen so far. So I am honored, I'm thrilled, and I am grateful to have had the opportunity to work for 14 years with Matthew Myers. And to be able to continue the work that he and Bill started 27 years ago. Matt's contribution to public health is immeasurable, and there are few words to convey how much we have all gained and learned because he has been our leader. Thank you, Matt. But the campaign is filled with talent, and I'm also delighted to be able to work with an incredible, dedicated staff to carry on his legacy forward. And carry it forward, we will, together. So now, let's take a look at our global work. In the past year, it has been an incredible year of accomplishment and success. This year, as Matt mentioned, the Bloomberg Philanthropies announced a new 4-year commitment to tobacco control, and we are honored to remain a partner in that initiative. Some people from Bloomberg are here tonight, so we thank you. We have also received funding for our global tobacco control work from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Both foundations have shown unwavering commitment to tobacco control that is both noteworthy and exceptional. And because of those investments, we have seen incredible global progress. Thank you. Working in diverse political situations, often in countries experiencing immense political upheaval, we have focused on closing existing gaps in national tobacco control laws, implementing campaigns to raise tobacco taxes, advocating for strong regulation of emerging products like e-cigarettes, and fighting the tobacco industry as it continues to avoid meaningful regulation. We have successfully campaigned with local partners to increase taxes on cigarettes and e-cigarettes in Kazakhstan and Romania. In Pakistan, this year, we supported efforts that resulted in passes in the largest tobacco tax increase in our global work. And this year, I traveled to the Philippines to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the passage of its sin tax that has driven down prevalence rates in the Philippines that has resulted in 6 million fewer smokers today in that country. We've supported new smoke-free laws, and in China, nearly 224 million people in China, that seems like a small number, but for everywhere else, that's a large number, are now protected by strong tobacco control, smoke-free laws. In Mexico, as you heard from Eric, we helped to pass a law that made the country 100% smoke-free and banned advertising at point of sale. Predictably, the industry is aggressively pushing back in Mexico. What Eric didn't talk about in his remarks and what his work will continue to be going forward is that the tobacco industry-sponsored lawsuits of more than 2,000 have been filed challenging the laws implementing and the regulations implementing the law. We'll hear more and more and more about that as the night goes on. In Uruguay, the new president, under pressure from the tobacco industry, issued a decree that weakened the country's groundbreaking plain packaging law, and we supported local advocates to take legal action and force suspension of the decree. And finally, the through line of all of our work, both in the United States and globally, are the young leaders that we're here happy to support. This year, as Flor indicated, we brought together young leaders from Africa, Asia, Europe, and Latin America at our first ever Young Ambassadors Summit in Istanbul. Emerging from that week, a global network of young people was launched to take on the tobacco industry and help prevent tobacco addiction in all its forms. Now, I'm honored to present our second Champion Award this evening. It involves the most inspiring story, perhaps one of the most inspiring stories in my time at the campaign. In Ukraine, every person, every family, and every aspect of life has been impacted by Russia's unlawful invasion of that country. But during all of these horrible times, we have seen stories of bravery and humanity, and one of the bright spots has been tobacco control. Ukrainian tobacco control champions in civil society and government have remained focused on saving lives from tobacco use. Just prior to the unlawful Russian invasion, the president had signed a new tobacco control law, and then the invasion happened. Never squandering an opportunity, the tobacco industry shamelessly attempted to take advantage of the conflict and to roll back the gains in the recently passed law. Advocates and government champions fought back and then mounted a superb campaign to make sure the law was not only protected, but implemented as the war raged on. The Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids has worked in Ukraine for almost 15 years, and we continue to support them even now, especially now. And we couldn't be prouder to present our Champion Award to the courageous advocates and policymakers of Ukraine. Let's watch the video to learn more.
Our joint
efforts have helped to pass a law that completely bans smoking in public places, restricts advertising, and includes graphics warnings.
This new law took us many years of hard effort to pass. We finally found the allies we needed in the new parliament. We helped them become real tobacco control champions and build a strong coalition across the country to advocate the law. The first months was very difficult. Everyone fled Kiev and no one knew what would happen. But we learned to work remotely during the pandemic. So our work essential, it was therapy for us to work and not think about the war.
Combining military service in the country and advocacy work is not an easy task. Fortunately, I'm able to continue my work even in this military dress.
Even after the invasion, the industry is trying to influence policymakers to reverse our law. They have allies in parliament and government.
We showed that DCPs cooperate with tobacco industry, which is not good because the four biggest tobacco companies continue to work in Russia.
They trying to eliminate smoke-free in August 2022 through a shady parliament procedure. They tried to delay implementation of a new pictorial warning. This attempt failed.
Campaign for tobacco-free kids has been working with Ukraine for decades. And what we see now in Ukraine is the result of this long-term social investments in the infrastructure of NGOs, tobacco control activists, lawyers, advocates that in different roles keep their mission and stick to the mission of tobacco control.
The biggest threat is the tobacco industry. They will not leave and will always press to reverse our progress. It means we need to stay the course and continue to fight.
We know what to do, we have the tools, we have the instruments, we have the network, and we have people.
We believe that we will see the first generation of children free from tobacco and nicotine.
I hope we will continue our collaboration with international partners, with our donors, to save Ukrainian lives, and one day we will have a great victory. This day we will call the end of tobacco in Ukraine.
To accept the Champion Award, please join me in welcoming the Honorable Lada Bula.
Good evening. On behalf of Ukrainian tobacco control movement and on behalf of the Verkhovna Rada of Ukrainian Parliament, my colleague, Mr. Michael Radutsky, and I would like to say thank you, the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, for this award. As you know, our country is fighting for survival against Russia's military aggression. Our people stand strong against the invasion. We know we will win. But even now, the tobacco companies and industries continue to operate, to market their products and lobby their interests in Ukraine at the expense of our health. But we, Ukrainian people, parliament, and government are moving forward to create and implement new politics and will make our country better for all Ukrainians now and long after our victory. I am proud to say that our tobacco control law is popular and is effective. Much of this is thanks to the strong effort of our civil society. Their support was essential to pass this law, as was the essentials of international organizations, their support too. Like the campaign for tobacco-free kids, thank you. We remain committed to protecting and expanding this protection from tobacco, we knowing the benefits they will bring. We are all fighting for the future of Ukraine, not just on the front lines against the invader, but on our cities, our towns, fighting to make Ukrainians healthier, happier, and to give us and our children a better future. We need our people to be healthy and strong for generations to come. I send you greetings from our all-Ukrainian tobacco control company and from all of our people. Your recognition is important to us. It shows we are not alone, that Ukraine has the support we need to achieve all of our victories. Together, only together, we will win. Slava Ukraini!
What a story. It's efforts like that that inspire all of our work, particularly our tobacco control work, but also the work that we do on other public health issues. Please join me in welcoming Lucy Martinez-Sullivan to describe the other work that we do on other public health issues. Lucy.
Good evening, everyone. Okay. Thank you, Yolanda. Certainly that's going to be a tough act to follow. So many of our incredible successes, the ones you've heard about tonight, have provided the foundation for the Global Health Advocacy Incubator. 9 years ago, the incubator started out as an experiment to see if the policy wins achieved on tobacco control could be replicated to solve other major public health challenges. Since then, we have proven that we can drive impact at scale on a range of issues through relentless advocacy and the power of partnerships. I'm proud to say that the incubator has helped achieve more than 80 policy victories across 23 countries, covering more than 3 billion people. Not bad for a 9-year-old. Across our diverse programs, we are united by one goal: to save the most lives and create a healthier future for all. And in true tobacco-free kids fashion, we don't shy away from taking on some of the toughest challenges in public health. With malnutrition now affecting almost half of the world's population, the incubator partners with advocates in every region of the world to advance high-impact policies that promote nutritious foods and reduce the consumption of ultra-processed, unhealthy products. In doing so, we confront the world's largest food corporations, which have learned a thing or two from their friends in the tobacco industry, including how to hook kids on their products. It's why we worked with our partners in Barbados and Jamaica to pioneer a youth advocacy network which engages young people as advocates for healthy foods in their school and community. Speaking of youth, the incubator tackles the leading cause of death worldwide for children and young adults ages 5 to 29. Any guesses what that is? Road crashes. We support advocacy campaigns to pass policies such as requiring seatbelts and car seats for kids and reducing drunk driving. Policies that have saved lives and reduced traffic-related injuries in countries such as Colombia, Uganda, and Ukraine. And tonight, as we celebrate the courageous advocates and policymakers from Ukraine in the fight against tobacco, I also want to take this opportunity to acknowledge our road safety partners in Ukraine who have persevered in their advocacy in the midst of a terrible war. And finally, I don't need to tell anyone in this room just how big of a challenge it is to get governments to make funding for public health a priority. But the incubator does just that across a number of issue areas. Working in partnership, we help countries prevent the next epidemic, improve their public health data collection, protect kids from drowning, a leading cause of death of children in many low and middle income countries, and ensure that every child is vaccinated against deadly and debilitating disease. But even with all that, we're just getting started. We at the Global Health Advocacy Incubator are excited to engage young people the world over in creating a healthier future for themselves and those they love. It is a great story waiting to be written. And to all of our supporters and partners, thank you for being part of this story.
Thank you, Lucy. The Global Health Advocacy Incubator and the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids are together setting a new standard of advocacy for public health. As last year's Barry Fisk National Youth Advocate of the Year honoree, I've served on the board getting to know all the incredible people who've helped make this progress possible. It's been so inspiring and invigorating to my continued advocacy work, and thanks to the dedication and commitment of Barry Fisk's friends and family, other youth advocates have the same opportunity to learn important advocacy skills and take change into their own hands. So to tell you more about the legacy behind this award, please welcome back Matt Myers.
It is now my honor to present the 2023 Barry Fisk National Youth Advocate of the Year Award. Barry was a dear friend and longtime member of our board of directors who passed away in 2019 after a brave fight with cystic fibrosis. Barry was a passionate advocate for the right to breathe clean air, and she believed deeply in the power of youth to change the world. 2 years ago, thanks to the generosity of Barry's family and friends, we launched the Barry Fisk Youth Leadership Fund to take our youth advocacy programs to new heights. As you've seen tonight, we're accomplishing that goal, not just here in the United States, but around the world. The Barry Fund is helping us foster the next generation of young leaders and empower them to carry our fight forward. Barry would be very proud. Now it is the time to present the 2023 Barry Fisk National Youth Advocate of the Year. This year, the award recognizes one outstanding youth advocate who demonstrates leadership, commitment, creativity, and courage. This year's recipient is DJ Yearwood of Independence, Missouri, whose advocacy ranges from fighting for tobacco prevention in Missouri to supporting the FDA's proposed rule to ban menthol cigarettes, and he supported the effort in California. Here's a short video highlighting his impressive work.
My name is DJ Yearwood, and I am from Independence, Missouri. My entire immediate family uses cigarettes and e-cigarettes, Last year, my grandmother, a smoker of more than 50 years, was diagnosed with lung cancer.
As young as 6 years old, I began to realize the damage that tobacco does and made the declaration that I would never use the products. When I would go out to my aunts, I was notorious for hiding their cartons and breaking their cigarettes in half.
I worked with FDA officials for the pass on the ban of menthol products. We know that menthol products have had an extremely disproportionate impact on Black and Brown communities. Menthol products are branded, flavored, and manipulated to make Black and Brown communities feel like it's a necessity for them. The Youth Empowerment Initiative is an organization that I founded in 2022, which aims to incorporate youth leadership at all levels in the community through the pillars of social support, community engagement, and advocacy. It really felt great to be able to not only found, but lead a successful organization that does so much work in community advocacy and youth leadership. And I think that the work that I've done so far has reflected that, but I want to go a step further and continue to do it bigger, better, and bolder.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome DJ Yearwood, the 2023 Barry Fisk Youth Advocate of the Year.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. It's a huge honor to be named the 2023 Barry Fisk National Youth Advocate of the Year. Barry Fisk was a fierce champion for health justice. She believed in the power of youth and understood the dynamics of a successful movement for change. Tonight, I want to focus on that word, dynamics. I'm an advocate and a violinist, so I think of the word in both its musical and non-musical sense. In music, dynamics refers to the varying levels of sound in different parts of a musical performance. In physics, dynamics refers to the study of forces and their effects in motion. In other words, catalysts. In my high school symphonic orchestra, every musician contributes to the overall performance. We think about how we communicate our tone, our message, and our emotions to the audience. And without these dynamics, we lack expression. The dynamics tell us when to play bold or when to be gentle, when to be loud or when to be soft, when to play it safe or when to risk it all. And of course, this is how all of us, as catalysts for change, organize and build together to fight the tobacco industry. While our voices rise together like a symphony, the industry ticks plainly like a metronome, profiting at the expenses of our communities. It brings me so much pride to join this chorus with everyone here tonight and those fighting with us around the globe. Our success is the result of support from people with different backgrounds, different volumes, different perspectives, and different dynamics. Back home in Missouri, it's no secret that we face challenges due to the influence of the tobacco industry. Missouri has the lowest tobacco tax in the nation, and we don't have any kind of regulation or laws to protect kids or advocates in our communities at the state level. But as advocates, we push on. Dynamics came into play when we successfully advocated for the largest investment into tobacco prevention efforts in Missouri's history. I was proud to secure this victory alongside partners and fellow advocates. The dynamics of our collective voices prevailed. But this victory is just the start, and we have a long way to go to defeat big tobacco. I want to give a special thanks to Barry Fisk's family and everyone who contributes to the Barry Fisk Youth Leadership Fund. You make it possible to elevate youth voices everywhere. I also want to thank my role models and fellow youth advocates who contribute their personal dynamics to this fight. And thank you to the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids for this incredible honor. The dynamics of the symphony we're creating together is the tune of change toward a healthier tobacco-free future. Thank you.
Congratulations, DJ, and congratulations to all of the amazing Youth Advocates of the Year and all of our champion honors. They're really an extraordinary group. I also want to thank everyone for joining us this evening, and thank you for supporting the campaign and all of us at the campaign for the past 27 years. I am confident, I am certain, that you will support Yolanda and our team just as strongly in the years to come, and that together you will make the kind of change that the world never thought possible. Thank you.
I want to close with one of my favorite African proverbs. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Let us go together, but first, let's continue tonight's celebration on the rooftop. We hope to see you there. Thank you.